friends, welcome. My name is Teri and this is my channel today on all the makings that I have done this last week. So if you're new to me, welcome. My name is Teri. I am on a weight loss journey to lose 100 pounds through Weight Watchers, and I post about that on Tuesdays, but on Fridays I decided to combine it all in one area so that on Tuesdays, if you're not here for the weight loss stuff, you don't have to be there. So I do vlog style recordings, so you'll see a little bit of snippets of my day thrown in too, but I'm just going to say welcome everybody to my channel. So I'm just going to get right to it. Today I have a little bit of crochet, I have knitting, I have cross stitch, I have sewing, finished objects, and plans. And so I'm just going to get right to it. So the crochet, I've been working on my corner to corner crochet blanket. I did not bring it in because now it's at the halfway point, and I've been using leftover scrap yarns, and all those scrap yarns are either Red Heart or Big Twist, and it is a number 4 weight, and I've been using an eye hook, which I think is a HIJ 5.5 millimeter I think a minute hook on that, and I will insert a picture so you can see where it's at. But this morning I got it right to the halfway mark, so then it just means that now I'll start decreasing it back down, so it'll end up being a lap size blanket. And then the other crochet thing that I've been doing, this is kind of future plans too, but I've been seeing all these blankets and I love making blankets. I just can't help myself. So I saw this gal, I think it's called Hooked by Robin or something like that. All the stuff will be listed in the description box, and she was showing, I don't know if you remember, Grandmother's Garden. In Quilting World, that is like a paper piece thing, and they are hexagons that you just sew around the center, and then it has the traditional would be the white border around it. So she showed how she was doing one. So y'all know I had to try it. So I did. Now this one I did on a J hook. She was using like a number 3 weight yarn, like a DK, and she was using a G hook or a 4.0 millimeter. And so I just wanted to see if I could do it because it was join as you go. And so I used scraps, and this is what I came up with. So these both are Big Twist yarns from Joann's, and I started with the center one, and then the way she has you do it, you always start your next petal. So you start the petal the first round, because there's only 2 rounds, the first round, and then when it comes to a corner, then you just slip stitch, and then you finish it off until you go around. So my thought was, when I get these blankets done, this is going to be an ongoing one that I could just sit there and just do this up. This didn't take me very long, probably I'd say a couple hours to do. But so I got this one. It is 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and so she does not have a pattern on how to connect to everything. So I went on to Google and I went to find something, and Yarnspirations had this freebie pattern, and they did this one right here, and this is the general idea that I was going to do. Now they show you how to make the flower, and they show you how to make these white individuals, and then they have you sew them together. if I can figure out how to hook them together, that's how I'm going to do it. So yeah, I just love the creativity that it brings out in me. I just love it. So that was really, oh, I might as well show you the finished objects in the crochet. So my goal was to make a bunch of hats this year for donations. And so this first hat, I've been doing a lot of bagel day, and I found this designer, and I've watched her, but she always does bottom up hats, and I've discovered after doing this one, I like top down. So her name is Rich, R-I-C-H Textures, and I can't tell you the name of this beanie, but this one was done, I gotta think, and I did an H hook for this one. And this one was basic stitch Lion Brand yarn in a 4-weight, and this one was called Pumpkin. But that is the top of it, is like a decrease round, and then it has this texture, and then you have this raised right here, and you start with the rim of it first, and then you connect it, so you only have so many stitches right here, and then when you get to, I think, 16 or 17 inches, then you slip stitch it together, and then she tells you how many stitches to go around it, and then she does that. This is from what's called the third loop. If you know crochet, there is usually 2 loops, but if you fold it back on the back side, you'll see an extra loop there, and that was the third loop, and that's what gave it that raised right there. And this was not difficult at all. You just had to know it was like 3 rows down where to do it. So, but the thing with this is that you start, see, and then there is right where you can see that you joined it all the time. But when you got up here, you started decreasing and half double crochets. And you kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller until there's like, I think 9 stitches left, and then you cut your yarn, and then you know, cinch it up. It gets pretty tight right in there, and that's what I don't like about it. But it fits okay. It's supposed to fit between a, what'd she say, 21 and 23. It's a little, if I put it on me, the brim will come right down through here, but it's a little slouchy back here. And Jerry says, you know, a gal with a bunch of hair, it'd be just perfect, because it was a little big on him too. So I finished that one, and then Jerry, Mr. Jerry, my hubby, last year when we went to Joann's and was picking out yarn for a mosaic overlay blanket that I did, there was this one yarn that he just gravitated to, and it was Big Twist Rave, and the color was something citrus. Y'all, it's bright. It's like a hunter's orange that we would have for our safety over here. But the whole idea was I was going to make him a hat out of it, and I didn't get it done for Christmas, and so I just did the Bagel Day linked double crochet hat. And this is it. Look at it. This is it right here. He really, really likes this. He says this is, as in his words, is pretty. So, but it's a gradiating kind, and you start up at the top here, and it just spirals all the way around. You just you never have a seam in this one, because he kept looking. He goes, well, where's the seam? And I said there isn't one. So you put a marker right at the end, and then when you do that stitch and you come back around, right when you get to your marker, then you just move your marker up. And Crystal uses a scrap piece of yarn, and that's what I did too, because that was easier than the little plastic gadgets. So anyways, I did finish that for him. Fits him really nice. He likes it. I have enough to do another hat because it will not go in any of the blankets that that I'm doing right now. So that's what I had for the crochet that I know of. Now I'm also doing a mystery sew along through a group on Facebook, Bolts and Cuts by Miss Sherry, and she designs these herself. The pattern, she has them tested and stuff. So I got my fabric out, and she's clues 1, 2, and 3 came out, so I'm going to show you those. So clue 1, and I'm doing the lap throw, Amazon's here, lap throw, because I didn't have enough of this material to do the king queen. So this was clue 1. They were half square triangles, and she has you cut everything out, and she tells you what clue baggie they should go into, and then when clue 1 comes out, this was clue 1, and then she tells you what baggie, and this one went into baggie number 7, and so I have baggie 7 here. And then clue 2 came out, and that was a little bit more. So clue 2 had this piece right here, and then it had where you sewed clue 1, you sewed them together in this direction, and then you sewed it in the opposite direction. And all of that went into baggie number 7. And so I'm trying to not, because another clue will come out on, I think, the 5th of February, and then the Game Bowl, the Super Bowl one will come out, the rest of it. And then clue 3 told us to take out a baggie number 3, and that was a real easy, quick one. And this is what clue 3 is right there. So for the sewing part of 7, and that went into bag 7, so everything's going in bag 7. I have a feeling bag 7 is the last clue, and everything will go in to get put together. So I got that done, and so it's gotten the itch of me to want to sew some more. But you know, if you watched my Tuesday video, you know that I kind of tweaked my right hip and then re-aggravated my sciatica in the left. So I've been doing a lot of setting. It is improving immensely. So now I'm going to hop into the knitting, and there is, out of the knitting, I finished my Colorwork socks, and I have one sock on the go. So these are all housed in this birthday bag. I don't have too many of these, but it's in this bag here with my sock ruler and everything. And this yarn is called Stranded. It is Tough Sock. It is from Mint Rain hand-dyed yarns. I know it's going to be backwards, but it was in the Stranded colorway. This is what it looks like, all caked up. And I'm only on the first sock, and I just picked up the gusset stitches. So this is what it's looking like so far. I've done the heel, flap and turn, and now I'm in the corner of the sock right there. There's your heel, and I gotta finish picking all these up, and then I can go to the foot and toe. So there is that sock, and if I'm rushing this because I got bread in the oven, and if it goes off before I get this done, then I'll pause you. And then my Colorwork socks I got done, and I blocked them so I could see the difference between the two. But this is what they look like. So this is my very first pair of Colorwork, so there is lots of imperfections, but they do fit. And I usually do not wash and block my socks. I usually knit them and they go right into the drawer. But since this was Colorwork and I had the extra ladders in here, I thought maybe it'd help tighten that down. So, so it's going to look like this. And let me show you my floats. So this is my floats right here. You can see this is where I carried the yarn up. So I don't think too bad for a first time. So those now, I can take them off the blockers. They've been on the blockers for a few days. Those will go into my drawer to be worn. But yeah, so I got those done. Then I went back and in cross stitch, we are doing a stitch along in another Facebook group from La Di Da called One Stitch at a Time. I'm doing mine on 18 count vintage French vanilla fabric, and I am doing one strand over one square, and it was Weeks Dye Works color floss. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. I didn't touch this one. It's my other one I got to get, so I'll have to post pictures or show that later. But anyways, I got this much done. This was the section for January, so in February I can start over here and then start working on that. So that's where I am on that. The other one, you gotta think what it was called. Lila or Lila Studios, and it was home something. I'll put it down here. I will insert a picture so you can see how far I got on that. That is really, both of these are such a fun stitch. They just, I could just sit there and stitch, stitch, stitch. And I have a floor stand magnifier with a light on it, and or I wouldn't be able to do cross stitch. And so I really enjoy doing that one. Then my last cross stitch one is a temperature chart one, and I talked about this quite a while ago, and it's all specialty stitches, and she does it on linen, and I'm strictly an Aida girl, and I just couldn't, I didn't like the fabric I had before, and it just wasn't clicking in my head. But she was so kind that she did for all of us Aida stitchers a way to do it on Aida if we want to. The one way is doing the same, you know, one thread over one square, but sometimes you might have to pierce the fabric, and I wasn't for sure about that. And then the other way was make it twice as big, and she recalibrated it, and it ended up being like a 16 by 16 or something like that. And I thought, well, I don't want a temperature thing that big. So I looked through my stash, and I found through Luminous Fiber Arts a 28 count Lugana, because this is more of an even weave. This one's called Solo. That is the color right there. And y'all, I am doing it. I am doing that. So this is January so far. I just started this yesterday. I think I got to, was that 3, 6, 13, day 13. So this right here is called a Queen's Anne, or a Queen's Anne stitch, I think it's what she called it. And this is a herringbone stitch. So I have, you know, quite a few to go. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 days. So I'm on day 15. Day 15 will start, it will be the 3 here. So that's what I did for that one. Of course, you know, there's 31 days and there's been so much other stuff going on. So, but that's what I've done for that cross stitch. So that is really all that I've been working on. Now I did receive something in the mail and my plans coming up, and this is for February. There was, I'm on a newsletter for a lot of these. And so this one is from Gauge Dye Works. Now this one is some yarn. What intrigued me, it is a self-striping yarn. This one is called their trifecta fingering, which is 80% superwash merino wool and 20% nylon. 100 grams. Let me, so you can see it there. Or 322 meters or 352 yards. This is called the Astronomy Knit-Along, February 2025 round trip. And the whole idea of this one is there's 28 stripes. There's 28 days in February. And so she's having you knit a stripe a day. So I will have to get this caked up, and I will have to find 2 needles so I can do 2 at a time and figure out how to do to get 28 stripes in. So this will be starting in February. Okay, I'm back. I took the bread out. I will take a picture afterwards if you want to see what it looks like. My future plans is that there's a couple of knit-alongs coming up, and I'm going to see if I have the yarn for it. One is stranded knitting a hat. I might try that. The other one is a 4 skein shawl, like a rectangle. I haven't decided on that because I have to have 4 skeins of something. My crochet shawl that takes 5 skeins, I have not touched that one. I'm kind of losing interest in it because it's one of those that you literally have to read line by line and do what it says, line 1 basically first, and then look back down and see what line 2 says, and then do that. And it's not it's not difficult, but I just want to be able to enjoy my craft of crocheting. So and I haven't gotten very far on that one. So I might be able to use the colors I pulled out for the upcoming one. But other than that, I'm just going to continue to work on all these crafts and see what the following week brings me. I hope that your crafting week is a good one, and whatever you are making, whether it is fiber art stuff like this, or it is sewing, or it is baking, or anything that brings you joy, even your reading, I hope that it is a good one. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to try to keep this shorter, and because right now I'm at 24 minutes, so I'm going to try to keep this around 30 or under. So I'm going to let you go, my friends. Thanks again for listening and watching, and if you're not going to stay for anything else, that's all right. And I'll try to take a few more stuff during my day, and hopefully I'll see you next Tuesday. Thumbs up, please, and if this is something you like, I would sure like you to be part of this family of really nice community. So talk to you later, my friends.